What is up, and welcome to part 2 of my Q&A. Here I got a few more questions left here to be answered, and once again, to those of you who asked me, I'm going to give you a quick shout out again. And thanks so much, guys, for the questions. It's been a very thought-provoking process, and again, if you didn't get a chance to ask me any questions, there will always be another one in the future. I would like to think there will be one, and in terms of audience growth and stuff, I would like to think there would be more questions. So always stay tuned, and I may post another video one day. So alrighty, the next couple questions are from, again, Blu-ray Evan and Leroy Green 85. Thanks a lot, man. Again, you always comment and stuff. We've had some quick conversations about some Blu-ray stuff recently, and thank you so much for commenting and liking my stuff, man. I very much appreciate it. His first question, Leroy Green, when did you start collecting media? And that's another thing where I truly don't know the exact year, man, but I can say I still have quite a bit of VHS back there. I don't know if you all can see that. From my younger days of collecting, I had a lot of family time, and in terms of watching movies, I grew up with watching movies. My dad would always rent movies. He was a big influence in my life in terms of movies, so, and he would buy a shit ton of horror films. My dad was a horror movie guy back then, and eventually he grew to just enjoy, you know, animated movies and stuff with me and my brother and my family and my mom, and we would just watch them together, and had a shit ton of Disney movies over here as well, and we had a shit ton of cartoons that I personally started to buy, and I would start to look for them on my own. So VHS tapes were a big thing for me and my family, and for myself. And then eventually even DVDs came along. I slowly but surely, if you checked out some of my earlier stuff when I first really started, which I guess I'll segue into the final question here. If you check back in some of my earlier crappier videos, I had piles of stuff over here, and me and my brother collected together, but he, unfortunately, he just kind of, it was a phase for him. He didn't really care too much after a while, but we probably had like 500 DVDs. It was just crazy. And of course now Blu-rays, and I've always collected action figures when I was a kid too. You know, just random stuff like this now. It's definitely a fun thing to collect, Funko Pops, and just media in general, just memorabilia. So I've been collecting as far back as I can remember. Maybe since I was probably, yeah, I can't even give an age range, but I was definitely always enjoying collecting VHS tapes all the way up to now, Blu-rays and collectible stuff like that. So yeah. And the final question, again, Blu-ray Evan and Leroy Green 85 asked a very similar question. What or who inspired you to start your YouTube channel? Or why did you start a YouTube channel up? And again, guys, thank you for that question, because this is basically like the origin of it all. So sit back and relax, and here we go. And unfortunately it has to be the short version, but I think that's all anybody would need. I initially started this channel way back in 2007, and it was not for movie stuff. It was actually, again, back to my VHS stuff, I had a lot of old cartoons, and that was when I was first discovering YouTube, and seeing that people wished that there would be uploads of various cartoon shows that were no longer available. And a lot of them, yeah, they've slowly but surely had gotten released to DVD literally just in the past 5 years, which is pretty sad that these companies barely got that fans wanted these shows. Like, and Bonkers is one of the ones I uploaded, and of course I took them down, and I'll get to that in a second. But like, Bonkers was some of the first initial stuff. I have like the entire VHS sets that they released, and I started uploading that stuff. And I took them down though because a couple years later, like around 2009, is when I remember hearing about lawsuits. And there was like literally children who uploaded their favorite SpongeBob clips or something, and Paramount was suing the living daylights out of people. And it scared me, because I thought, Paramount's not that high on the ladder anymore. Maybe way back when in the golden age of Hollywood, but right now they're not. They're kind of down here now. And in terms of Disney, I was uploading Disney stuff, and I got scared, and I took them down, because I'm like, I don't want Disney to come and give me a lawsuit, because that's fucking scary. And part of the reason why I did that was because I started this, my show, my series, or whatever you want to call it. I had started it as a hobby because I wasn't able to upload the episodes consistently. But I did have a shitty little camera back then, and I would turn it on every so often, and I don't know, just I started doing that, and I started doing this. My first episode, you can look it up right now, and it's awful. My review of Still Waiting. That wasn't the worst sequel in the world. I've seen far worse, and it was a very mediocre movie, but ever since then, I had gotten comments and stuff, and it was cool. It was nice to interact with people about something other than just cartoons, and because, again, it wasn't my content. It was Disney's content, and I never took credit for it. I always listed I never took credit for any of it because it wasn't mine. I wanted to just share it, and it was awesome to see people happy to see some of the cartoons I posted, but thankfully there's someone else out there, I think, that still has a lot of that up. But I took it down because of that. I actually began to work hard at making these videos, and my Worth a Watch show was born out of this random hobby that I, in between uploads of cartoons, I did this. And eventually, like I said, I deleted them, and this kind of became the thing about my channel, and I slowly but surely made it into this, what you see now. And I guess some inspiration. I have a lot of people to briefly go through them. Jeremy Johns is a big one. Schmoes No, Chris Stuckman and John Flickinger, and one who's not around anymore, and if anybody even remembers this guy, he was like the Yoda. I remember they dubbed him the Yoda of movie critics here. As a fan of film, he called himself Fury of the Film Fan. He was definitely like a wise Yoda type person. He was awesome. Unfortunately, he's no longer on YouTube anymore. But anyways, those people and more inspired me to be a good movie reviewer, a fan of film, and I loved that idea where we're not critics. The fucking stuck-up assholes who just has the monocle and like, you know, just all those assholes out there, like, are awful people that get paid to see movies and review them, and it's unfortunate that they don't take it with an enjoyment anymore, and they've gotten very much like an asshole. And I never liked those people, but these people and more that I've mentioned inspired me to be just a guy in front of a camera, enjoying a film, not liking a film, expressing my thoughts on a film, and so many other things, putting a neutral perspective, being funny. And that another YouTuber that's not a reviewer, but he is awesome nonetheless, and I highly recommend checking every one of these people I've mentioned out if you don't already subscribe to them. Brock Baker. I love doing voices and just stupid stuff, and I'm very much akin to stuff, and I'm crazy to do voices, but because I sound so stupid. And that was the lame attempts of like the Mad Hatter or Nick Cage, and just, oh boy, haha, you know, Mickey Mouse stuff, you know, that's pretty fun. And walking, I can't do them very much, but I try. And Brock Baker inspired me to do all these wacky little things. I don't think any one of these people will ever see this video, but he helped me, being an introverted person that I am, just be inspired to do stupid stuff. If I insert an impression that makes no fucking sense, he's the reason why, and I love it. I love that I can do that on my videos. And if you want to check out my Vines, that's all stupid shit like that, so feel free to check it out. Link in the description below. There are so many inspirations, and there's so many people I'd like to thank, but of course I can never do that, really. I've just taken a lot of different inspirations from everywhere on YouTube, and I'm sure I forgot quite a few people that inspired me along the way, and all I can say is thanks, guys, so much for inspiring me. If any of you ever watch this, you guys are awesome. And for those of you who subscribe to me now, and all three of you guys who gave me these awesome fucking questions, thank you guys so much. You guys definitely deserve. If y'all, I'm sorry if I haven't checked out much of your content. I've just been very busy lately too. I'm lucky to get videos done, but I've checked out some of you guys' content before. For those of you who comment fairly often, and you guys also run some awesome channels. Thank you so much for tuning in to this Q&A, this two-parter. I hope you all very much enjoyed it. Thank you again so much for the questions, guys, and stay tuned for more movie reviews, collectible goodness episodes, and so much more. I'm really hoping to get more drawing and art stuff integrated in my channel. It's just very hard without editing, but I'll get shit done. I'll get shit done when I get the opportunity to. So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment below as always, and I'm Anthony Flores.